Boom, bang, crash, thunder and lightning.
Hey.
I'm just connecting. There. I'll just be a moment. Just portaling in there.
Where's he gone?
Come on through the portal, Eldor.
There we go. Can you see me?
Like magic.
Clear there, sir.
Brilliant. Hello. Welcome to MOTUESDAY Night Live. This is my boy Phil from Treasures for Trigger. How are you, Phil? Looking good, mate.
I'm awesome.
Good. Your internet connection is a lot better than last week.
Slightly better. It'll get better as the stream goes.
Good.
Yeah.
By the end of the stream, it's going to be perfect. So if anybody that doesn't know...
do the bladder check there.
Oh, man. Without any further ado, our guest, Eldor from Masterversal Toyhunter. How are you, Eldor?
Oh, I'm fine there, sir. Honored to be on the channel. Thank you for having me, indeed.
Oh, you are very welcome. And let me tell you, for those that don't know, Eldor lives slightly in the future, which is ordinarily me. But Eldor living slightly in the future, we have to say something to you today, which is very, very happy birthday to you, Eldor.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
What is it? Only 101 years?
No, 1003.
1003. Well, you don't look a day over 100. Phil can't decide if he wants to join us or not. Come in, Phil.
Hello.
Go through the portal. Go through the same portal.
I was worried you had solar flares there.
What a rush that was.
Oh, dear, right, brother.
So I just want to a quick introduction to what our show is. MOTUESDAY Night Live, because it's where me and Phil are. Believe it or not, it's nighttime. Where Eldor is, it has just hit morning. And for everyone else in the rest of the world, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Ordinarily, Adam from GoFigure would be joining us. For reasons I won't say live, he won't be joining us today. But Adam, if you are watching, we love you, mate. We miss you, buddy. Yeah. And we have Prince Adam here standing ever vigilant, holding that spot for you for when you return. But in the meantime, our tribute to Adam is standing atop here, holding aloft his mighty sword. We'll say a quick hello to the chat. Masterversal Toyhunter, you were here first. So thank you for throwing a comment in the chat there. Toy Domination just woke up. It's time for some Motu. I reckon he must be on his way to the gym, and then we'll find out that it's almost bathroom shower time. But he'll let us know. Kenny Whitey says, "Have a great stream." Witty, sorry. Kenny Witty, that wasn't very witty of me. Have a great stream. I'm at work. I'll catch up later. Perfect. Classified is in the chat. MOTUESDAY is a go. Thanks for joining us. Aussie's here. Aussie. How are you, mate?
Oh, there he is.
Good to see you, bud. Oh, Philator's going to be here twice. Why? What's happening here, Phil? Do you mean to do that? Hello.
You're teleporting all over the show there, sir.
No, we got double the volume now. All right. There we are. How's that? Let me tell you, there was nothing wrong with this connection. We were talking for half an hour before we went live, and there was no issues. And now all of a sudden, we're all over the place. Chris Yeager, hello all. How are you, buddy? Vector Gaming YT. Hello, everyone. What's YT stand for? Do you reckon it's YouTube? Stephen Sheets, a turn hut. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, here he is, Adam. Have a great show, guys. We're missing you, bud.
Until next time, sir. Good journey.
He doesn't look a day over 890. That's, I reckon he must be talking about me. One of us. Probably you, birthday boy. And greetings to Jim Largo from Largo's Lair. How are you, mate?
Jim, sir. Good to see you in again.
So thank you for all those that can join us. So, yeah, this is MOTUESDAY Night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us that can. If this is your early morning wake-up, thank you for joining us. Grab a coffee. If you're on your way to work, don't worry about it. Just call in sick. You don't have to go. I don't mind. So, Eldor, tell us a little bit about your channel and a little bit about yourself. I will say that my favorite part of your channel is when Postdoor shows up and brings you some boxes full of stuff, and you use your mighty power sword to open those boxes.
Well, I don't know about the power sword, but my great eye of the universe is telling me it needs a bit of juice there. So I'm just gonna
plug
it into the power of Grayskull there.
I like that we've all come so prepared for a live stream. Everyone plug in.
Yes, I don't want to drop off there too soon.
So yes, Eldor, tell us all about yourself.
Oh yes, I'm Eldor, of course, the keeper of the book of, it's a heavy one, the book of living spells.
Nice.
It's rather a heavy book, bit of a good read. And yes, it contains all the secrets of the ancients, indeed. And,
I have a feeling that
wisely.
I have a feeling we're going to find out some of these secrets today.
And of course, as everybody knows, I was a mentor there to Gray, or as we also know him as Hero.
That's right. Well, for those that don't know, we're going to find out today.
Indeed. And my channel there, I just, review a figure or two, sometimes Origins, sometimes Masterverse, and sometimes customs as I'm working on. And here be one here, a custom, a 40th Faker that I've done some work on today. I had to do a bit of work on to make his harness fit there because he's a bit too bulked up, you see.
Right.
So, yes, I got his harness sorted out. So it fits him now. And yes, I do show off some of my customs, but I haven't done that in a while. I've been rather busy there of late. So I've tried to keep on and just drop a few mail calls that I get from old post hall there sometimes.
That's right.
If I'm not having the Falcon drop some parcels on my face through my chamber window there in the morning. That's why my nose is so big. See, it drops it on my face.
Well, I've seen a lot of your custom stuff, and it is top notch. So definitely check out Masterversal Toyhunter on Instagram as well, and check out his YouTube channel.
I moved into the Mythic Legions also, because they're roughly on the fantasy genre there, and as we know, the Four Horsemen, they also worked on Master of the Universe Classics there, and I believe you call them the Stetsons there for the 2000X figures.
Oh, of course.
They did the sculpting for those. So
yes,
I decided to incorporate Mythic Legions into the channel too. So in case everything goes down the drain and ends, I'll have something to fall back on.
But it's always good to have options.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully there's many years left to Master the Universe indeed, and it continues on to the next generation there and so forth.
Well, we've had so many iterations of Masters of the Universe. Even if this line does go the way of the dodo, that it'll be back in some other form or fashion.
It's had a little bit of a rest, a break over the years, and it's come back, and so forth. And yes,
so
pass the word around. That's what's needed.
I've got to circle around Adam here if I want to look at the chat. It's like, I'm not saying you're in the way, Adam. I'm just, but the Instagram is here. Do check out, thank you, Chat Champion Classified. Do check out Masterversal Toyhunter. You know, if you hit that link right now, you can go and subscribe to Masterversal Toyhunter, and you won't even miss the show. You'll still be able to hear the show. I do it all the time. People drop links in the chat. I hit the chat. I hit subscribe on the channel, and I'm still watching the show. Come right back. So go and hit that.
Technology these days, it sounds very wonderful. So
if I can do it, anyone can do it. So go hit subscribe over there, and hit subscribe over for Treasures for Trigger as well. And I'll tell you why. Not only is it a perfect channel, but also we do, when we're doing the Masters of the Universe MOTUESDAY Night Lives, it actually spins around it takes a sharp turn at Albuquerque and goes to Phil's channel at Treasures for Trigger, and then it's right around the corner again at Adam's channel at GoFigure when we go live over there before we circle back around to this legend, me, for MOTUESDAY Night Live back on Cyber Sword
Yeah, just as well I have the fan going there. A bit of cold water. We get a bit dizzy after all that.
It does get a bit confusing, but I couldn't think of anyone better to have on. This is so we had the pilot episode with me, Phil, and Adam on the first one, and I was like, when we go back to my channel and we have the first official show on my channel, I couldn't think of anyone better to have than Eldor. He's committed to Masters of the Universe. He's just about everywhere on everyone's chats. He's on everyone's streams. It's just superb guest, superb channel, superb Instagram. I couldn't think of anyone better to come on here. So thank you, Eldor, for indulging us.
Yes, I try to keep up pace there when I can.
Well, you're doing.
So sometimes I find myself on 3 lives all at once, all at the same time there. It's a lot of focus there, and mental training.
So I want to bring up a photo. Go on, Phil.
I was going to say, I understand it's a special day today for Eldor. Have we brought that up yet?
We did. You were there for it for a second, and then you dropped out. But we can say it again for you, Phil. We can say it again for you.
Happy birthday, Eldor.
Just don't break into song now.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Don't leave me hanging, Phil. Happy birthday, dear Eldor. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
We nailed that.
Bless. Thank you.
I don't know what they sing in Eternia, but that's what we have locally.
Give it red in the cheeks there.
Usually it's much better than that. When people of actual skill sing it, it's very good. So I want to bring up a photo real quick, Eldor, of you back in your youth. Many decades ago. This was a screenshot. This is a screenshot that Phil sent me, and I didn't have the foresight to trim it, to cut it, to make it more presentable. So I present to you Phil's screenshot of your Instagram of you decades ago. What is happening here? In a roundabout kind of way.
Yes, those were the days. Right around when we had the Great War there with the Snake Men. And we had to, we had to summon the 3 towers, of course, Powers of Grayskull, and the main tower of Eternia, and the Viper Tower there to keep the powers in balance, and as it were. So here we are raising up Powers of Grayskull there in Motu Street.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Did you put those cones out?
No other better place for it, I feel.
Did you put the cones out to block off the street for that photo?
Yes, I said first.
Hey, Eldor,
So
I'm just going
Motu
to say
Street.
that's probably my most favorite photo on Instagram. I absolutely love that photo, and it's your time on planet Earth in Dunedin, New Zealand. Is that correct?
Oh yes, here in Eternia or Middle Earth, as some call it.
That's the one. So yeah, I
was a spring chicken there indeed.
Nice. I went to university and high school in Dunedin, so I do remember Motu Street. So when I saw this photo, it blew my mind. And your triumphant look holding up the Castle of Grayskull underneath the sign is just brilliant. I love it.
Oh, so you're a bit of a scholar there, sir.
Many years ago. Yeah, I've forgotten everything I learned.
Well, jolly good.
Yeah,
Says the teacher.
I did learn how to drink down there, so I've remembered how to
Perfect.
Great city. Love Dunedin.
So
they know how to have a good time there, indeed. Burning couches and what have you.
That's the one.
Actually, a funny story about that is a legend as to why they the students burned the couches there. It was a dark and stormy night, the night before inspection, you see. So what they were all tasked with cleaning the different corners of the flat, and one fellow he misplaced his little duster brush, so he had to use his toothbrush there. You see, he was cleaning, and the couch gobbled him up, and one of his other flatmates walked in just as his feet were disappearing into the couch there. So after a bit of a struggle, we got the couch outside there, while the other flatmate was a flaming arrow, bow and arrow, you see.
Right.
So, and it burns the couch alive there, so it doesn't eat any more of the flatmates. And then
Is that
they burn the couches there to there's a memorial for that event.
so? Now they burn them annually.
Something like
Yeah,
that. But I think the local law enforcement they don't take too kindly to it now. So they burn the midnight away in other ways. You might say, bit of drink.
Fair enough.
They used to carry the couches into the rugby stadium back in the day, and then put them to light to keep warm while they're watching the football. So you'd be going to the rugby.
So we moved all our attack tracks and what have you, and battle rams into one of the old Anzac matches they had there. So we were all sitting on those, and I was sitting on top of the attack tracks there, and we watched the Anzac match play out. And we were near the flamethrowers too, you see. It got a bit hot sometimes when they scored a goal.
I have never been so confused in my life. Do people in New Zealand not have wood to burn?
Well, yes, plenty of wood.
It's too easy.
Why would you burn wood when you can burn a lounge chair? Good question.
Exactly.
Who am I to judge? Don't let me judge. If that's how you guys do it culturally, I'm all for culture. I'm learning about New Zealand culture today, and I appreciate that, fellas. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to be going through the Powers of Grayskull, the history of Eldor, with Eldor himself. Could you imagine going through the history of the Powers of Grayskull with anyone better than Eldor? I can't think of anyone better. That's like going through the dictionary with whoever wrote the dictionary.
Some yarns I can tell you.
Hey, he's got the space station to himself today, so he can play while you work. Well, if you want to play hooky Space Commander, you can come in and join us.
Indeed.
Let me know. So, before we do get into the Powers of Grayskull, we have a little segment here, Eldor, where we talk about Masters of the Universe, as in your universe, your action figure, your choice. So it's imagine if, a what if world. Where back when Mattel were in the heyday of Masters of the Universe, you got to pick and choose your own builder figure, your own creator figure, your own you in the Masters of the Universe. Now, Adam has very graciously, as always, has come together and put this epic, what would you say, this piece of art? I can only say it's a piece of art, based on your... So based on the bits and pieces that you put together for us, Eldor, I will present to you your universe figure. Pa-dow!
Flaming balls of fire, indeed.
I'll see if I can make it full screen so we can get a real good look at it. Oh, look at that. What a beauty.
Heavens to Bessie. That's looking good. It's a really good show there.
So step one was to pick your parts, and you've come in with Fisto's head, human body legs. Is that what belt is that?
Prince Adam, basically, but grey with brown wears like boots and gloves.
Yes,
give a bit of a Robin Hood look, like I had in my early days there. A little bit after that photo you showed prior.
So you got Hordak arms, and
it was a snout belt arms, but we use Hordak arms, I suppose.
Well, Adam's gone ahead and used them anyway. So Ratface44, how are you, man? Handsome man, Ratface. He calls himself
He's
Ratface.
entitled to use a bit of artistic license there, sir.
So I think for the gauntlets, he's elected to go with Hordak arms. And for the first time ever in the Masters of the Universe, we're looking at some soft goods. So he has put together a soft goods cloak for your very character. That's a first for the Masters of the Universe.
Looking sharp.
And classy. Looks good.
Yeah,
so you're... Oh, I mean, they didn't do it enough, did they?
No.
Well, they do just one.
So there's my magic scepter there. I couldn't find anyone that had a book on them or a wand. There was evil in, but I couldn't have an evil in wand. So the spear that I believe Whiplash had was better than anything.
Yep, so he's put it down and said that it's Grayskull spear, but I have a feeling that might be Grayskull. I could be wrong. Maybe there is a Grayskull. If you think there's a Grayskull...
It's just a magic star, basically. I should have mentioned that, but yes.
But yeah, it looks very cool. And then in the end, your final form is Eldorius. Oh, Phil, you've gone full screen.
I'm back on the laptop.
Okay, just to really make us dizzy. So what do you reckon, Eldor? Is this a fitting younger version of Eldor?
Yes, no, I'm rather impressed there, sir. Looking good.
Yeah, I like it. This is definitely one of the best.
When I was going through the parts, I was thinking, now, what could I use for the head there? And yes, of course, Fisto was the first one that came to mind there. So I went with that. For the beard, though, it's not as long, but the beard nonetheless. And I suppose it's something Mattel would have done, possibly, if they went into releasing his action figure there. But some may also call me Tendril there, is my real name. Tendril the Wise.
Oh, see, now we're learning.
Here we go.
I think I still
from Adam. Brilliant work, Adam. If you're still watching, buddy, well done.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. I always appreciate it.
Jolly good job.
So by the end of I guess season the end of season 1 of MOTUESDAY Night Live, Adam's going to put a full poster together of all the characters that we've put together. Classified did win our first ever Masters of the Universe. And I reckon if we can twist Adam's arm to make any other character, I reckon we might be able to twist his arm into making this one too.
If anyone can, Adam can.
Be a surprise indeed.
So so very, very well done. So everyone that's a guest gets their own Masters of the Universe caricature done up by GoFigure Adam. And again, we super appreciate it. He's got so many great skills. And this is only tip of the iceberg of what he can do. Oh, Radical Toys is here.
Very talented there. Oh, Mr. Other Adam there. Good evening.
G'day, mate.
Good day.
Thanks for joining us. Adam is a talented dude. He's handsome and valuable.
So is that other Adam too. He does his little puppets there and all the hard work animations.
I'm going to move myself to the bottom so that if anyone gets covered up by the words, it'll be me. We can't have our guests getting covered by words. It's unguessable.
Not at all, sir. Not at all. Put yourself back up there.
No, we're going in order of age. So,
Thanks, buddy.
just messing with you.
I'm only 999 years old.
Okay, yeah. I'm catching up.
Hey, Eldor, can I ask a question? Apart from yourself, obviously, do you have a favorite Motu figure character? Did that come into consideration when you were designing your figure there with Adam?
Oh, no, I felt it had to be a figure of me. Indeed. We've had a few out so far. Come out there, and I guess hopefully I might come out there again sometime, maybe in Origins there, because yes, we saw Kekla there during the Eternia playset crowdfunder there, but sadly we never quite got to the point of him being one of the included stretch goals or figures and what have you. But, hopefully Mattel...
Full disclosure, Eldor.
Hopefully Mattel sees that they need more figures to come out there, and they might go, oh, how about we put that Kekla fellow out there?
I will say, Eldor, full disclosure, I honestly thought that the character that was an unlocked for Eternia playset, I thought that was Eldor, the old fella in the blue. I could have sworn. Who is that character?
Kekla, sir. He's the leader of the elders of our order, as it were.
Okay. I obviously can't tell my bearded old man apart. That's why I'm always trying to figure out whether I'm Phil or Phil's me. So I always get confused. I always get us confused, Phil.
Handsome as each other.
Oh, yeah, that's. I think that's what it is. Yeah, as handsome as each other could really also mean the opposite, right?
Yeah. Interpret that as you will.
So I'm going to throw up an image. I think this image comes from the Classics line, or when they were advertising the Classics line. We haven't even done a dive into the Classics line, and we're not doing it today because we don't have the time for it. We will one day, but not today. However, having said that, I'm almost certain this image comes from there. Now, I don't know who two of these characters are. I only know the two in the front. So can you enlighten us, Eldor, and tell us who we're looking at here?
So, of course, we have Hero standing up front there. I named him Grey after Castle Grayskull because we discovered him all by himself. At one point, he was in a bit of a burning crater. I think he fell from the sky there. And yes, he was afflicted by a terrible infection. And so I cured him up. And yes, he came about there. And yes, through my powers of transformation, we were able to create him as the great and powerful hero.
Right.
Just like your He-Man years later.
What is it that he's holding?
So he is holding his magical transformation staff there.
Well,
which transforms him into Hero, of course.
Oh, naturally.
Hero, nice. I love his boots.
Yeah,
And,
right.
To the other side of him, of course, is Cirilla there.
Cirilla.
Now, yes, Cirilla has been teased of late on many card backs, and many of you will recall the Camel Khan.
Let me bring that up so we can have a look at that.
So,
oh yeah,
there she is. If I can get my finger in the right place, she's making a few arrows fly there, breaking a few hearts, and fighting alongside King Grayskull, of course, on his big beastie there. And who's this fellow there?
Oh, look at that handsome man. That looks like a birthday boy.
In the middle of the battle there with old mossy boy at my side.
So Moss Man is as ancient, is he?
Yes, he's one of the ancient beings of Eternia. So I understand he's been in the announcements of late, and everybody's been clawing their eyes out, waiting to get a hold of him. Indeed.
Oh yeah.
Of course, many of you recall a Wanda, another ancient character from Eternia's past there. And of course, he was granted the power armor from Zodak there to do his fighting about. And yes, we see Cirilla.
She returned.
There. She's still flinging her arrows and what have you. And yes, we see as shown here the skeleton warriors. So indeed, more figures that can be had in Origins.
Oh, fingers crossed.
So exciting stuff indeed.
So the Powers of Grayskull, correct me if I'm wrong, and there's a good chance that I'm wrong. It was the final wave of Masters of the Universe, but they cancelled it. Am I right so far?
I'll just consult the Book of Living Spells here.
Oh, good. Okay, we're going to get it straight from the tomb.
I have the page marked out, as you do.
They brought out the dinosaurs, didn't they? Back in for Powers of Grayskull.
Did you ever see them, Phil?
Yeah, actually, I remember the
yes.
logo, that greenish logo. I do remember seeing it in the shops. And as a kid, I was obsessed with dinosaurs, but I never got the T-Rex or the I don't know what their names are. I don't know if Eldor can fill us on the dinosaur names, but the T-Rex anyway. I remember seeing that in the shops, but it was probably overpriced for my parents to afford it, so I didn't get it. But I think they brought out the two dinosaurs, but no other figures associated with it.
Well, we're about to find out, Phil. I have a feeling we're about to find out.
It's a stab in the dark.
So, if you'd be so kind to screen share there, sir.
Yes.
So, here, not too long ago, old Super 7, they brought out a figure of myself there in vintage format, and of course, one, as we know of as Pixel Dan, he helped do a bit of writing in the Book of Living Spells here. And so here, without further ado, here he goes. Eldor is one of two action figures in Super 7's retro-inspired line. Not to be based on the Filmation animated series, instead Eldor comes from the Powers of Grayskull, an unreleased line of action figures that was originally planned as a spin-off from the classic Masters of the Universe toy line. Photos of prototypes of two figures, Hero and Eldor, myself, have been floating around for years. Fans have always wanted to add these two figures, Hero and Eldor, to their collections. Adding these mystery characters to their vintage collections, rather. And now Eldor and Hero are a reality. Well, of course, they were not too long ago.
Right.
Eldor is a brand new sculpt, but he is based very closely on the photos of the original unreleased prototype. Even the packaging is nearly identical to what we would have seen had this figure had been released in the 1980s, as originally planned. Now, he has a bit of an accessory there by my Book of Living Spells, as you see beside him.
Yes.
And here we are at the back of his card art there. And we have a little look at the cross-sell there. So I believe it had a bit of a magical gimmick to it there.
Oh, cool.
So Eldor. Eldor's one accessory is unique. The Book of Living Spells, of course, includes a sticker sheet with stickers that you need to apply to the pages of the book yourself. Once applied, the book essentially works like a simple magic trick. It has a trifold mechanism that makes it look as if the pages are magically changing simply by opening it up and altering the directions. It is an oversized accessory and very hard for the figure to hold. Oh, just as this book is. It's very hard for the figure to hold, but it's still quite fun. Eldor and Hero are two of the most exciting figures to come out of this line of retro action figures, simply for the fact that the fans can finally have their own piece of toy history they never thought they would have. So yes.
Well, thank you for story time there, Eldor. I appreciate the pictures that go along with it. I do appreciate pictures with a story, and you've done that justice. Hello to Hillian Dread and Jewel, who's shown up. Jewel who 9? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Joel. Good to see you.
So yes, I came prepared there, indeed.
I appreciate.
Looked like it had the dinosaurs on it. on the back of the card there,
On the
the
book?
purple T-Rex.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is
Yeah.
not, I'll put this big heavy book up there.
This is so I've just got pulled up on my iPad. The
yes?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes.
So
Now,
got,
Phil.
that's got the Powers of Grayskull logo all over it on the box.
I didn't
So
want to
that was-
spoil it, but
Oh,
I did have.
there you go.
I was getting to the dinosaurs, Phil.
Here it is.
You know me and dinosaurs. Come on.
Oh yes, the steed of King Hiss indeed.
We will circle back to the dinosaurs in a moment. Phil.
Now I feel like a tummy.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. As you
So-
were.
But before we get to the dinosaurs, Philator, I just want to talk about the hero in the wave, other than Eldor, of course, is Hero, and this is what the original vintage Hero would have looked like had they released it. So new, travel back in time to Pretonia and meet Hero, the most powerful wizard in the universe. His power staff opens up to reveal. Well, that's all you need to know. His power staff opens up to reveal his magic crystal, but only for those ages 5 and over. And they say for Eldor, new, but he's Eldor. So new, happy birthday, contains real holograms. What's a real hologram?
Oh,
As opposed to
man at arms, he devils and all that stuff.
Eldor is the heroic guardian of the Book of the Living Spells. The magical book contains the secrets of Pretonia and Grayskull. Now, Eldor, you explained it much better than Mattel did, and yours was much more dynamic, but they gave it a go. But
Came from the horse's mouth. You know,
that's right.
Came from
Yeah.
the man himself.
Now, we're looking at Hero here, and in all seriousness, is this a worthy... Eldor's got more for us.
Indeed. So here we are again. When I get myself sorted.
Hello, Rolando.
Super 7
Rolando.
hero figure there. In all his
yes.
in Peppermint's glory.
I love the accessory. The power crystal looks great, and the vintage, the other that's cool.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah.
Who's it going up against?
Looks like a Megator, I think. One of the giants. So yes, cross-sell showing you how all that works. Yeah, I think he put his hand in there so he holds it, and you can open his magic wand there to do the transformation. As your imagination lets you, I suppose.
Look at that, Phil. Dinosaurs.
And then we had dinosaurs again. Indeed.
Aren't they beauties? So, Eldor, did you help make that power? Did you help make that power crystal for Hero? Then is that part of your works?
Yes, we created the scepter for him so he can
just want to do a quick comparison
to transform himself.
Oops, at it again. Can you just zoom in a little bit more onto Hero, Eldor, if you can, just so I can do a little bit of a comparison of what Super 7 did. And excellent. So Super 7 do remarkable stuff. We all know that. And I reckon that as close as that is, that Super 7, it's an improvement, right? That head sculpt improved by Super 7, yeah.
And of course, consulting the Book of Living Spells again, we have Hero, along with Eldor, is one of 2 non-Filmation characters once again, released in this retro-inspired line from Super 7. Instead, Hero has roots in the original Masters of the Universe toy line. At one point, he was set to take over as the main character in the spin-off line called The Powers of Grayskull. Hero was the most powerful wizard in the universe. Set in prehistoric Eternia, the Powers of Grayskull was going to serve as a sort of prequel to Masters of the Universe. Hero and Eldor made it to the prototype stage, but were never released. Pictures of the prototypes have again floated around the cyberspace there. Within the fandom for years, making them quite desired. They were the lost figures of the original Masters of the Universe toy line. So Super 7 did a great job of finally bringing this figure to life. It's an entirely new sculpt,
That's great.
but is closely modeled on those early prototype photos, all the way down to the shiny vac metal torso and boots. Indeed, don't look at it without sunglasses on there. Hero includes one accessory, the Staff of Transformation, much like what was shown on the original prototype images. The staff opens to reveal the green gem placed at the top. Hero can hold this staff up in his right hand. This figure is truly one of the standouts of Super 7's modern retro line, as it gave longtime fans the chance to again add the figure to their vintage collection. Indeed.
Thank you for consulting the book. The vac metal is just gorgeous on this. The card is beautiful. I love that green. I just think that it's so striking and it's so different. Yeah, yeah, they did a tremendous job.
Also, I know that Super 7 they used a rather nice thick card stock on their action figures there. I quite like it.
Yeah.
I own the Orko of that the Super 7 vintage line. So no bending of the card and stuff you have now with Origins.
So they were more of a Filmation look, right?
Yes, I believe so. They did most of the characters in that Filmation look. I have a loose Man-at-Arms there of that line. And Merman.
I only ever saw, I saw Merman and I saw Beastman, and those were the only two that I ever saw from the Super 7 line. I never saw these guys, but they look really cool. Phil, I thought maybe that vac metal chrome had done your eyes in. You had to go off camera for a little bit.
Yeah. It's such a shame that it didn't come out back in the day. You know, you got your prototypes ready to go, and I guess by wave, how many waves of Motu was there? 7 waves. By the 7th wave, the popularity had just sort of died out, I guess.
Well, they say that it was the She-Ra line. The girls, they stopped the cartoon for a start, and that's bad news, right? When you don't have a cartoon, you're very quickly going to just drop off. And when they make it the girls' line, and I had no issue with She-Ra, by the way, I will say that. I didn't collect She-Ra dolls, but I loved the cartoon. But because they weren't bringing out any real He-Man toys, what have you got left to do except for just, I guess I'll just give it up. And if you're not selling any product, how are you going to have a future in the line? And I guess it wasn't until they brought the space stuff out, and that was a whole different thing. Oh, look who's showing up. Weird, fantastic toy adventures. Hello from Oh, thanks for hitting that like. Oh, Matthew Comstock was also, hello, how are you, mate? Sorry, I've got Prince Adam standing in the corner covering up the chat. So I've got to, every so often I've got to do this. Who's here? Who's looking? If I've missed anyone, I apologize. So I'll just, for Phil's sake, just so Phil doesn't have another hissy fit, we're going to go straight into the dinosaur.
Oh man, how epic does this look? He-Man on a Triceratops, bloody hell!
That is so cool. And I've got to say, given that they're a fantasy line, there weren't really that many beasts, right? Not really. You've got Battle Cat, you've got Panther, you've got Battle Bones was pretty cool. That's probably the precursor to This
Oh,
or
the carry case.
imagine
Yeah.
battle bones, but with flesh. That would have been cool. Matthew Comstock
Yeah.
overslept. I know the feeling, mate. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. But Eldor, who are we looking at?
We are looking at obviously a Triceratops with He-Man. He's applying for Dino Riders there. So
Right?
they have him sitting on the mechanism.
Was this before Dino Riders?
Glass either side of his head there.
I think it must have been roughly around about the same time as Dino Riders, because I jumped right into Dino Riders when that came out, and I'm sure I did see these two, the T-Rex and the Triceratops here in store, but I was already invested into Dino Riders by that point. I pushed Motu aside, and my parents could only afford for us to sort of stick to one toy line. Basically, we couldn't get everything in the shop, so now I'm kicking myself, obviously, because these things are worth, big bickies. They're hard to.
Well, no, mind you, we also had the Meteors line.
True.
In Masters of the Universe. It was an obscure Japanese transforming animal line, I believe, and Mattel's like, well, we might as well just throw them in. So they did.
So Space Commander says that it's possibly called Bionatops or something like that. Just commit to it, mate. Just commit to it.
That sounds familiar. Yeah. I think
for Phil's sake.
You carry on this, sir. I'll try and look it up in the Book of Living Spells here.
Dinosaurs before Jurassic Park changed their look forever. Yeah. My first memory of a Tyrannosaurus Rex was standing completely upright. Standing tall, almost like Godzilla. That's how I remember T-Rex being in the books that I read.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert, I can go to the next slide and we can find out exactly who this is. However, I want to
the Triceratops. There we go. The Triceratops was
all the
called
answers,
Bionatops there.
Bionatops, okay.
So
he's just testing us.
You can see there.
So similar spelling to Space Commander. I'm not gonna go off at you for your spelling. I'll solo you for a moment.
So there we go.
Bionatops. You were close, Space Commander. You were
documented there by one Pixel Dan and his team. So a couple of photos depicting.
Yeah, that's so cool. There. It's interesting that they put him on the what do they call that? The frill. The frill of the dinosaur.
I believe that's what you term it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You'd be better off sitting behind it.
Masters of the Universe includes a little bit of everything, indeed.
Indeed it does.
And the swords and sorcery and technology, it's all here. So when the line was nearing the end of its shelf life and Mattel wanted to inject something new into the molds,
I get it.
So where were we? Yes, injecting something new and exciting. They tapped into the classic theme that kids are always guaranteed to love. Of course, Dino Riders.
Yes.
Bionatops is a heroic dinosaur intended as a steed for He-Man or any of his allies, unlike Battlecat. This Triceratops does not include a saddle for heroes to mount it. Instead, the figures just rest on the dino's head between its horns. Hold on there.
Get back right in. There you go.
Yes, which admittedly is a little awkward and not the most stable seat. Yes. Like any good dinosaur toy, Bionatops also features a hinge joint at his jaw, allowing you to open and close his mouth by pushing on the crown on his head. Aside from this joint, the dinosaur is otherwise in a static pose, so he's going nowhere fast.
Well, Battlecat was the same. We didn't have a problem with
it. The sculpt is interesting, meshing the prehistoric beast with technology by adding the bionic-looking pieces mounted to his back is a large grey laser that He-Man can hold onto while he is riding it, of course.
Looks a bit like Rio Blast.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, his jaw looks like it's bionic. Is it? Looks like a sort of the lower part looks different from the upper. You know, it looks.
Yes.
Yeah.
He might need the support there, having all that on his head, I think.
He wouldn't want to jolt forward in a hurry, would he? Like that's gonna hurt.
Yeah. But I imagine,
of course, they didn't have seatbelts in those days. You see,
no, many dino fatalities. I'm just really surprised that they didn't bring dinosaurs in sooner because it's such a winning combination, and they're so they mix the science and they mix the fantasy so well that you just would have thought that the dinosaur aspect should have been a home run, and it probably would have been had it been brought in sooner. Battle Bones being one that both me and my brother had, my older brother Todd. We both had a Battle Bones, and not because we had enough figures to fill up 2 carry cases, because we both just loved dinosaurs and both wanted to have a character that was one. So we would have been all over this. I just don't ever remember seeing it. That's what the box looked like. It's it's a dinosaur. Not quite as looks a bit more like a piece of soap, doesn't he?
It does look a little bit goofy looking, doesn't it? The eyes are a bit.
It's not quite the same as the picture, but rotate laser weapons on horn mounts. Yep, definitely a string of words.
Yes, no doubt all these figures are fossils now.
Made from plastic, which is a fossil fuel.
Of course.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the menacing look like the Dino Rider dinosaurs, to be fair. Like,
no,
I can
of course, those I believe they were motorized, so you could have had them walking along there.
What it's really missing, other than some paint deco, what it's really missing is a better sculpt. No, what's really missing is some armaments other than what goes on the top of the head. Like Battle Cat had the helmet and the saddle. I reckon this guy could have really gone for a helmet. But yeah, that side profile.
He kind of looks like something you would float around in the bathtub there.
He does look like a bath toy. He either looks like a bath toy or a novelty soap.
He looks like he could fly. Yeah.
He definitely looks like he could float. Yeah, that's just one solid. That's one of those bath toys that you never quite get the water out of. You can always hear it slushing around in there. All right, so we've got all
the botanicals in there. I think you say so. Be the botanical tops.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next dinosaur. Maybe they get better. Bionicle top. Okay.
We're going to.
Well, let's find out. Let's find out together. All right, we have the Turbodactyl. Now that's cool. Beak and talons. Yeah, cool. You can't really see much of the Turbodactyl, but the beak and talons grab evil prey. So this is, I can see Hero on a top Turbodactyl. Still no real saddle or anything. He's got thrusters, so that's interesting.
He's grabbing onto. Is that King Hiss at the bottom of the card there?
It does look like King Hiss, yeah. Now, Eldor, have you got anything in your magic book that'll enlighten us a little on Turbodactyl?
Just having a bit of a browse there. I'll let you know how I get on. It seems I've listed everything in alphabetical order there.
The head at least looks more menacing. From what I can tell on the box, that profile of Turbodactyl.
Yes.
Got him.
Oh. Yeah, I'll look like my action figure soon. This book's very heavy. I'm pulling the weights there.
Well, we appreciate the effort, Eldor. I sincerely do appreciate the effort.
Here, once again, we are in Pixel Dan's book there.
Yes.
He has everything documented, of course. And, I'll get there eventually.
That's a great looking book.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he should have done it in volumes. It's a bit heavy there, especially for my own arms. Need to get a church post there.
What a figure.
So here we go. Turbodactyl, heroic
Yes.
reptile with jet wings, apparently.
Jet wings, right? Yes.
Masters of the Universe includes a little bit of everything, as we know. Swords and sorcery and blah, blah, blah. It's all here, so when the line was near the end and blah, 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 they take them to the dinosaurs, blah, blah, blah. Turbodactyl is a heroic dinosaur intended to be the first flying animal in the new Powers of Grayskull line that was conceived as a follow-up to the original Master of the Universe toy line. Instead, ended up on the burning heap.
Hmm. Indeed.
The sculpt is interesting, mixing the prehistoric beasties with technology once again. By adding bionic-looking pieces, jet engines are mounted to the underside of his wings. His claws can open and close, allowing you to pick up your taxi people or something, or in this case, your evil foes there, or warriors, and then
Evil foe or taxi fare,
and then can drop them. And just like any good dinosaur toy, the mouth can also open and close for a bit of a chomping action there. So it's that.
I like it more than I do the Triceratops. I'll give it that. I still think that it needs a saddle or a helmet or just a little bit more, just to really solidify it as a mount for the hero. But other than that, I mean, I think it's cooler than the previous offering.
It looks like it's been chomping at the box there, indeed.
Yeah. He's trying to get out.
Yeah, they've tied his mouth. It looks quite menacing how they've tied his mouth together, like he's ready to chomp out.
Having that small window also adds to the menacing part of it. Obviously, he's probably in bits and pieces, but having that side profile just poking through is a little bit creepy, like the Jurassic Park, right?
Pretty mysterious. Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely better than the Triceratops. I think I agree.
So we can all agree that this is better than the Triceratops. Ugh.
Yeah.
If they had ugh. The art for the Triceratops is very good. The figure, that one's pretty good, and it's pretty good. But let's move on to the next dinosaur. Drum roll.
Barney,
that's right. So the bad guys.
I'll give this one a rest then, because when as we've seen now, you read one, you read them all.
Fair enough.
We
appreciate the effort anyhow. So Tyrannosaurus Rex is the most terrifying dinosaur in the land of Preternia. Spinning dino drone launches from its belly. Now that's pretty cool. Knocks down warriors. Now, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but from the box art there, the action figure sits within the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like Stridor and so forth.
Just like your Stridor, yes.
Yeah. What was the name of the other horse?
Night Rider?
Oh.
No.
Night Stalker, was it?
Night Rider. Night Stalker.
Night Stalker. Right, I always forget it. Night Rider.
Yes, Michael, hit the turbo boost.
The what? The what?
Hit the turbo boost, Michael. Oh, never mind. Allow me.
Is there anything you can't do, Eldor?
I know, I'm full of surprises, aren't I?
So I don't think I have a picture of the actual dinosaur. You can only just kind of see it on the side of the box here. I want to thank Adam again for getting these images for me. He came through with these ones. But yeah, I think it looks okay for a baddie. He's definitely got a better gimmick than the other two have by having the launching dino drone.
His name is interesting. As I understand it, Mattel had a bit of a rights battle with the Tyrannosaurus Rex there, so they had to change the name, you see.
You can't call it a Tyrannosaurus Rex. who owns the rights to Tyrannosaurus?
I believe Mattel were a bit of a third party back in those days.
Well, Tyrantus is pretty cool. It's like tyranny.
Yeah, bit of a tyrant there.
Tyrant, that's right. Yeah.
So none of these guys came with figures, right? It was just the dinosaur. I think if they'd been packaged with a figure, it would have added something else.
But Battle Cat and depending on if you look, I never saw a Battle Cat with a He-Man. I'm almost
certain. I believe
certain
Stridor came with Fisto there. I think.
Right, but it also came separate as well, right? So, but yeah, if we were happy to pick up Battle Cat without He-Man, I'm sure we wouldn't mind so much having a Tyrannosaurus Rex for one of our figures to throw in there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do we reckon? Best of the bunch, or?
I like the bird. I like the birdie.
The bird's
yeah. The Tyrannosaurus looks a little bit goofy too. I think the actual figure.
It looks a bit like Megatron. Yes.
It looks like he flew off a bit of a merry-go-round there.
Yeah. But I will say, as much as the figure sucks, the art for that's pretty damn cool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Undeniable, really.
But as far as figures are concerned, Turbodactyl probably will get the win, followed closely by Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then falling behind is this lumbering brute, Bionatops. So,
your assessment.
Oh, who's that? Someone's missing.
It was me.
Battery power.
Birthday message.
Yeah, was it a happy birthday to Eldor? For Eldor, let me just look at the chat. For Eldor's birthday, please do subscribe to his channel. His channel is there in the description. It'll do me a favor. Do yourselves a favor and subscribe to his channel. It is hilarious stuff.
Thank you.
I love it. Every time you get some post, it's just you really commit to it, and I appreciate that. But we're not done as far as the pictures are concerned. I've got a few more to go through. And Adam sent me this one. Now we're looking at a couple of familiar looking characters and some new guys.
Yes, Laser Light, He-Man, and Skeletor.
So they're really leaning into, I guess, what would become the further adventures or whatever it is of He-Man. What was that called? The other one, the spacefaring He-Man.
The new adventures of He-Man.
The new adventures, right.
Yes.
Ever heard of Hale's Magadons? Haley's or Hales? Magadons. No, I haven't. You can enlighten us if you like. Megadons, not Magadons. Oh, Megadons. No, still no. Tell me all about it, Space Commander. So laser power, He-Man, he would go later on to have a bit more of a spacefaring theme, which I think is just weird for He-Man to be laser powered. And laser light Skeletor.
We did see those teased on Comic-Cons.
Oh, we did.
Cut out, fold out there. So
okay.
Here he goes there with Mechanic in tow, and they're ready to spring their trap as Comic-Con comes through the portal with a few of his cronies there. So here we have the laser sword He-Man or laser light He-Man. That no doubt they decided to do a bit of a Powers of Grayskull because of course they never brought the line out sadly back in the 1980s there. So hopefully with the new opportunity of that Origins presents, and of course we've seen the new card art for the Rise of the Snake Men there.
Yes.
Hopefully we might see a bit of a change, perhaps. I don't know if they might do it towards the very end of the line. There may be a few years off yet, but a bit of a change there in the overall card art to depict the Powers of Grayskull, perhaps. And we also had laser Skeletor a few times, so if we can
Right.
find him there. There he goes.
Oh, yeah, it's at the top there.
So here he is hatching his plan there, giving Cobra Khan the powers that be to cause a bit of trouble there and so forth.
That artwork is so good.
Yes, it's
Beautiful.
nicely fold out indeed. Bit of a slip out on your figure there.
So now that you mention it, Space Commander, I remember getting a unofficial rhino for my He-Man. I wonder, not a dinosaur. Robo dinosaurs are pretty cool, but I remember getting a rhino that was scaled towards He-Man. Wonder what line that was. It definitely wasn't He-Man, but it had a big rhino.
So
pretty
Big
cool.
Jim, I believe Big Jim was the toy line that came out that they borrowed from to use with the likes of Battle Cat there in your Panther.
I don't think it was Big Jim.
And I think they had the Snake Mountain set was something else before they made it Snake Mountain or whatever it was. But
Right.
so not that toy line you think.
Well, out of Laser Power He-Man and Laser Light Skeletor, I got to say Skeletor works better than He-Man in my opinion. But
Yeah,
the real draw,
laser power looks like the Wonder, sort of a bit of Wonder bread with laser sword, basically.
right? Yeah, I see you.
Bit of a Jedi there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab something while you guys talk about these giants.
Although, mind you, though, I believe the sword is connected in some fashion to that backpack. I'm not entirely sure, but yes, if you recall all those in the Star Wars world there, before the Jedis had their single lightsabers, they're all attached to their battery packs there.
Before they ruined it.
Am I right in thinking all of these were only released in Europe as well? Like these are, again, vintage-wise, these are... I know we were talking to Adam last week about him wanting to complete the line. I think he's not even considering these ones here because they're so scarce, you know.
I just want to...
I definitely never saw them in little old New Zealand, that's for sure.
Well, I definitely haven't seen them, but maybe Space Commander can let us know if they ever showed up his way. Not the space station, naturally, but the land underneath. I just want to bring your attention to Titus. And as you can see, he's a bit of a giant. And speaking of giants, if you'll indulge me for a moment.
Oh, yes.
So an homage, if you will, or a homage, if you don't want to say it right, but an homage to Titus is the Andre the Giant figure. Now, this guy towers over our boy Adam here, as he should. This guy is so tall that the legs were not attached in the box. You had to attach them yourselves after you opened it. But clearly, with the head crown and the chest there with the A, obviously it's a T for Titus.
Definitely inspired by. Yeah.
Definitely inspired by. He's given the one.
We've seen how Mattel can upscale things quite a bit, even with the vehicles and cast Grayskull and the weapons. In particular, I've noticed they've been a bit bigger than the vintage weapons there. So anything.
Did he come with an accessory as well, Zazel?
What's that?
Did Andre come with an accessory? Or
no, he didn't. Hang, I'll be back in a moment.
It's gone again.
He's gone. Let's carry on then, I suppose.
Titus there looks like he's got a walnut cracker or something as a weapon. About to squeeze.
Looks like he's using it as such.
Squeezing his foe.
He told him to put his face there, and he did. In other words.
So you've got obviously Titus on the good side and Megator opposing, right? Do you know much about these two?
Oh, they cause a few footprints. I tell you that much. Yes,
and scale wise, they're a lot bigger than the 5.5 inch figures too, I guess.
Because you notice that Andre the Giant that Zazel was showing before. But though it did look a little bit bigger than the Origins figures, it's still not as big, no doubt, as the vintage figures will look like. Did they bring it out on Classics too? I can't remember, but I know Classics did the dragons there.
Yeah. I think they did bring out these two in the Classics line. I do remember seeing them. Yeah, not that I'm a Classics collector, but I do recall seeing
hard
them.
To get it now. They're quite expensive.
Yeah, definitely.
I did collect Classics a wee while ago, but mind you, they're a bit more cheaper over here. I picked up a few for around or your 30 or 50 attorney in there, shall we say?
Right.
I had Procrustes also. He was quite a big towering figure, and he had multiple arms on him.
Yeah.
He was all done up in a rock type texture there, but I kept him mint on package. But at least I had a good few of the Classics still mint on the card there. But sadly, things lead to another, and I ended up selling my Classics collection off there. But just recently, last year, I was back in the markets, and a fellow I sold Mosquito to, he put him up for sale again. And I said, "Oh, I recognise that fellow. I was wondering if he bought that off me," and apparently he did. You know, I checked his account name, I believe you say, to the references or the feedback, I think you say, on the old trade me there, and sure enough, it was him. And so I asked him if he put up a buy now or something, but he was wanting to raise some money, you see. So he decided to let the auction run, and so I put a bid on anyway. And sadly, I lost my bidding, and I was going to try and keep in the fight there, but unfortunately, my great eye of the universe decided to spit the dummy on me, as it were, and so yes, that ended that plan, and I ended up having to buy a new eye of the universe to keep on the airwaves, as it were, which I thought was a bit more important there. So sadly, it was not meant to be, but I thought it would have been, one of these good collector stories there. Selling your piece and then buying it back many years later. It was about 7 years ago I sold that, judging by the feedback thing there. And
you would have made it good.
Still had the wee mailer box with it, the white mailer box there, and although I sold it with the vintage Mosquito though, but he didn't have that up for sale again. But no, it wasn't meant to be, sadly.
You got to pick your battles, Eldor.
Indeed.
So Brick Something jumped into the house quickly and said, "Good morning from California. Glad to catch a little bit of this live." Eldor. The name Tight Ass explains his weapon's compressive action. You get stuck in that thing, game over, man, game over. Yeah, true. That is such an interesting weapon for a character. It's almost too high tech for a giant. But yeah,
no buts about it, you might say.
That's right. No ifs and or buts. But yeah, he came with no accessories at all. Megator looks like he's doing the dance that I do when I'm out at the nightclub. It's almost
bit of line dancing.
Yeah. That's it. I don't know what he's kicking at though. He's already through. He's already through the wall. But out of the two of them, I reckon if I was going to get one, I would probably go Titus. If I had to make a choice, if I was pushed to choose one giant, it would be that one.
Yeah, I like his Nutcracker.
Cheeky.
All
right, moving on.
What is that? What is that?
It just grabs him by the head. So we'll move on to the next image, and we're looking. I have no idea. I was hoping Adam would be able to explain this to me. Is it like a weapons pack or something? I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's one of those weapon accessories, because we also had the Stilt Stalkers there, which you brought separately, I recall, my father getting me that set because I already had Skeletor at the time. You see,
Right.
before we went to one of his friends' crib, and they were staying there, and that fellow gave me a second-hand Prince Adam there, but he was missing his vest and those other pieces there. So those were the only Master Universe figures I ever had. But my dad, he got me the Still Stalkers there. So yes, they were a separate pack out there.
So that I've never seen Man at Arms look as badass as right now. That is so cool.
Yeah. And that weapon pack suits him down to the
ground,
Man at Arms.
Yeah. And then we're looking at some sort of game, some light game. Again, not really sure what this is. I was hoping you had it. Laser fun.
I suppose I could consult my book, but it's a bit heavy on my arms.
Oh, it's all right, Eldor. Some things we'll just never meant to know.
We'll guess and make do.
Yeah, I will guess that this was some sort of light game that you could throw on your He-Man and have them battle this power station that you would put one of your baddies on and it would fling them. That's what I think that is.
Bit of ejector seat there.
Yep, that's what I think that is, personally. And then we've got this, which is called the Gyra Attacker, which launches He-Man out the front. That's all unfolded, so I can't really see what's going on there. But
I have
Motu's
never
answer
seen
the Brave
that.
So I guess an
odd-looking vehicle.
Yeah, they were really getting into the spinning stuff then.
Yeah,
and then we're back at the Super 7.
We've come full
Eldor.
circle.
There he goes.
We have, and Eldor. So I reckon the packets look pretty cool. I would definitely have picked these up had I seen them.
Well, actually, a friend of mine in your part of the world there, Zazel, he was at a bit of a second-hand shop there.
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure what part of Australia he lived in, but he was doing a bit of a live.
Hey, Ken.
Walk through this old... Ken, sir.
Hello, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
And, yes, so he walked through this second-hand shop, and they had a big Motu display, I think, roughly in the center of the building.
Wow.
There's they had a good few parts to the Eternia playset there, and then on the second shelf, they were all listed with figures, and I said, oh, there's an Orko there. I thought it was the Origins one, you see. So he goes on, he goes, that's the S7, a Super 7 Orko there. So I said, oh, not a bother, I'll pick him up anyway. So I paid him back after he brought that, and I paid him back for the shipping, and yes, I finally had myself an Orko in the collection there.
Nice.
So, yes, quite a pack out of Motu figures they had for sale indeed.
Well, Radical Toys says that the Gyra Attacker was a Gyra Attacker. Okay, that's cool. So it's like a gyro and it's an attacker. So Gyra Attacker was originally made to launch Twisted and Rotar. And he's got the US Twistoid. Okay, Twistoid and Rotar. And he's got the US patent for it. So that's pretty cool. So
Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
You learn something new every day.
And
it's great that they're bringing it out now with Super 7. Finally, after all of these years, like Eldor, this must have made you so happy, mate, to finally see this stuff finally released.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't sure whether that spell would have worked, showing them what he would look like as our hero. I was a bit sort of half perplexed there.
Oh, so that's Grey before he turns into Hero.
Yes, sir. So that was Grey, as I so named him. After Powers of Grayskull there. King Grayskull.
Your weapon is the knowledge of the ancients. I wouldn't mess with you.
Must be used wisely.
Well, like we said at the beginning of the episode, it is your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Eldor. Thank you very much for jumping on and hanging out with us today on this MOTUESDAY night. One more look at
Yes, I was going to
Adam,
say, so for the fellows who just dropped in there.
if anyone wishes to say a happy birthday to Eldor, they can do so by subscribing to his channel right there. I'm sure everyone here has already subscribed to Eldor's channel because Eldor is a legend and his channel is well worth a watch. So
yes,
definitely...
me, myself, Zazel, and Adam, we did ourselves a bit of a Mattel there.
Right, so we put this figure together from Adam. I thought we'd show that one more time before we head out. The Gyro Attacker highlights the creativity and playability of the toy line. Such a cool idea to embrace a new buck and build a vehicle around it. I agree. I don't know if they so they didn't release it, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. How's that?
Oh,
Happy birthday, Eldor. Let me get on that right now. Happy birthday, Eldor.
It's all coming in now.
Slap a subscribe on Masterversal Toyhunter. You cannot go wrong. You literally cannot go wrong subscribing to Masterversal Toyhunter. It is one of the best channels out there. I highly recommend it. Phil, you got anything you want to add before we finish up?
I've just got to say it's awesome to have another person with New Zealand roots out there with a YouTube channel with an awesome Instagram account, and it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you this evening, Eldor. It's been brilliant, and I hope you have an amazing day for your 1003rd birthday. And what do you plan on doing for the rest of the day, buddy? You're gonna party?
I won't be partying like you did back in the day.
Burning couches.
That'll probably be a bit of a quiet day. I've been a bit busy, so that's why I haven't dropped any reviews on my YouTube channel there. Just kept things steaming along with a couple of just smaller unboxings of what I get in the mail from Post Store there. And,
well, your unboxings and
I've got a few projects in the works, so I haven't dropped off the face of the world there, as you say.
Well, like I said, even your postal pickups that you get from Post Store are still highly entertaining. Even if it's just a quick unboxing, it's always a highlight. I always look forward to watching a Masterversal Toyhunter video. Happy birthday again to you. Thank you to everybody that's joined us tonight. Phil, as always, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, buddy. Yep, and if Adam, we'll see you again shortly, hopefully.
Yes,
and
sir.
I guess the next Mo Tuesday will be back on Treasures for Trigger in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. I've got Mama and Papa Trigger hitting Japan on Thursday, so I'll be.
Tell you what, Phil, you do a thumb kiss and you call Gazz. I think you willed him into existence.
Hey. G'day, Gazz.
You have to do a bit of a show on the road there and show us all this, all the sights and sounds and so forth.
Has Mum and Dad come to visit you before, Phil?
Yeah, they've been a couple of times. Yeah, they're experts now. So
cool.
This will be about their third or fourth time over. So should be interesting.
So we'll take a little bit of a hiatus while your family are in town. But then when Mo Tuesday Night Live is back, we're back on Phil's channel after a little bit of a visit from Papa and Mama Trigger.
That's the one.
Did you get into any of the sushi there, sir?
Oh yes, we'll be.
I had Man at Arms. He's been importing some of your delicacies out this way, and the other day he brought us some sushi in there. Rather liked
Man
it.
at Arms.
Bit of teriyaki chicken went down well.
Good stuff. Yeah.
And the old rice balls there. Yes, sir. Oh, rather lovely.
You can't go wrong with it. It's good stuff.
not into the raw fish, but I like the easy ones, like the beef and the chicken. It's just cheating when you're going to go to a sushi place, right? And you're not eating raw fish. But whatever, I showed up. Any final words, Eldor, before we end the stream?
Oh yes, I'm here and there and customizing as well. So I had a few custom pieces to show up on the channel soon. In fact, I decided to document my customs as I go, so you can see where I started from point A to B, as you say. And,
Perfect.
And yes, you can follow along as with how those go, and I'll have art with Eldor Bob. We've got to get him on the show soon. I've been teasing tidbits of him, and we've had Sergeant Sloudor also.
Yes.
He's been rather good, so I said he could do a review because he doesn't own his own channel, you see. So I thought, he asked me if he could review a Sergeant Slaughter there on my channel, and I said, oh yes, I suppose he could. He asked me to ask you there, Zazel, sir, if you'd like to do a bit of a live with him as he unboxes Sergeant Slaughter there. And
absolutely.
He was also wondering if the man himself was not too busy sometime down the track. He'd be happy to fit in with his time schedule, I believe you say, and maybe do this, spin a bit of a yarn and so forth. But yes,
I've got
in your capable hands.
I've got absolutely zero control over what Sergeant Slaughter does, but I'm always happy to jump on and talk some Sarge if the invitation is there.
Whatever come what may, if you can't manage it, it'd be good to at least have you on there, sir, so I can at least tell him that.
We will definitely pass on the message.
Indeed. So yes, that's about me, I think.
All right. Well, with
what
that,
about you, sir? What about you, sir? How what you got in the pipelines there?
What
you have a big trip coming up, I understand.
Well, yes, we've got Joe Fest is coming up. I don't plan too far ahead anymore. I used to map out exactly what streams I was going to do and what videos I was going to do, but it stopped being fun. So I stopped doing that. Now I just sort of go live when it's fun, or I make a video when it's fun. And at the moment, what I'm working on is the boxing edition of the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. I'm very slowly working my way. Yeah. So Balrog versus Big Boa. Not sure who's gonna win yet. We'll have to wait and see. Presented by Mr. T, because the Slaughterhouse is out of commission. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. There's a playlist on the channel. I'm going to plug my own play motion, but check it out. It's so much fun. If you want to see toys fighting with toys, then this is the place to do it. But yeah, if you want to know why the next episode is presented by Mr. T and not by Sarge, then definitely go and check out those episodes. Phil does do an epic voice for me for the last episode where he actually got to voice Andre the Giant. But I'll have to get a hold of you, Eldor, to do a voice as well. But with that, we'll leave it. Oh yes, and the special project. I'm very wary on what to say about the special project, Space Commander, only because the next incoming transmission, I think that we'll finally reveal it. So whenever Space Commander has a free weekend, we'll go live for a incoming transmission with Space Commander, and I think we'll finally, very finally, talk about our special project. So stay tuned. Action Force fans. Yeah. Good stuff. Very good stuff. All right, well, we'll leave it there. I realize it's very late. Eldor, you got to get a nap in before you wake up for your birthday festivities. Phil, thanks for hanging out again. Adam, we miss you, buddy. Hope you're well. You were here in spirit, but we hope to see you again in person. All right, guys. Goodbye.
Remember, knowing is only half the battle. Good journey.
That's right. The other half is having a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Eldor. Happy birthday, Eldor. Happy
it there.
birthday.
You're giving me a blood rush to the head there.
All right, guys. Good night. Goodbye. And let's play that. Let's play that video one more time. Just
Encore.
goodbye.
Hit it.